Diana's ghost too? The crown trembles. It was early morning in London. The exact morning of the day Diana was no more 1 year later. The world outside Buckingham Palace still carried the quiet fog of dawn. The city seemed half asleep, but inside the palace walls, the air was heavy. Prince Harry, now just a boy of 13, walked slowly from the bathroom, wiping his face with cold water. He paused. A strange fragrance lingered in the corridor, soft, familiar, unmistakable. It was her perfume, his mother's scent. Harry froze, his heart raced. He whispered to himself, "No, it can't be," but it was. The very same fragrance Diana always wore, warm yet sharp, filling the air like she was there, just around the corner. Harry shivered. It begins with a whisper. Not in the wind, not in the trees outside, but within the walls of Kensington Palace itself. Staff have spoken of it for years. Visitors have felt it too. A sudden perfume in the corridor, the echo of soft footsteps where no one walked, the sound of weeping near the Queen's staircase. Some say it is imagination, others a curse, but many believe it is her, the spirit of Princess Diana. Kensington Palace has stood for over 300 years. Its walls have seen kings and queens rise, scandals unfold, and secrets buried. But perhaps none more beloved, none more tragic than Diana, the people's princess. When she lived here, the palace was filled with the sound of her laughter, the warmth of her sons playing at her side, and the presence of a woman who touched the world far beyond these gates. But after her untimely death in Paris, something changed. 1 year later, a night guard on duty swore he heard soft footsteps in the empty gallery. He turned, expecting another officer. Instead, he saw only the faint outline of a woman in a pale dress, her figure glowing softly in the dark. She vanished at the Queen's staircase, the very place Diana had often stood to greet her guests. The guard never spoke publicly, but others whispered it in the staff rooms. Fear gripped him, yet a small part of him longed for it to be true. He turned his head slowly, and then his eyes widened. The night before, he had argued bitterly with the crown. He had cried until his pillow was wet, hidden away from everyone. His grief had not left him in a year. He was still a child without the arms of the woman who meant everything. And now, standing in the pale corridor light, he was trembling, because something in the air whispered that she had returned. Suddenly, a bowl of water slipped from Harry's hands.
Oh my God! You will pay for this treachery.
It fell to the ground with a loud crash, the water spreading across the polished floor. And at that exact moment, a voice whispered. Not from the hallway, not from his imagination, from the crown itself. It was no ordinary crown. This was the crown of Windsor, the heirloom that had rested for centuries. And now, with a vibration like a living being, it spoke, "This is not just a bowl. This is the cup of Malkabalkis, Queen of Sheba, a relic of 1,000 years, and you have awakened it," Harry gasped. His chest tightened. The world around him blurred. The broken bowl shimmered as the water on the floor began to glow faintly, forming strange patterned circles within circles, symbols that no ordinary boy could understand. The air turned icy, and then from the very center of that water she came. His mother, Diana, but not as the world remembered her, not in the white dress, not in the flash of paparazzi. She was clothed in a soft glow, her hair flowing as if caught in an eternal wind, her eyes tender yet burning with a secret sorrow. Harry's breath caught in his throat, his knees weakened. "Mum?" he whispered. Her voice was like silk wrapped in tears. "My son, I never left you. I have walked these halls unseen, watching you cry when no one cared, holding your hand though you could not feel. But tonight, the crown has spoken. The past is awakening." The shadows in the corridor deepened. The walls seemed to listen. "Mother," Harry pleaded, "why now? Why come now?" After all this time, Diana's eyes turned distant, as if she were looking across centuries. Because the cup has broken. The cup of Balkis carries more than water. It carries truth, and truth is what this palace fears most. The hall grew darker, the flames in the lamps flickering wildly. Harry looked around, his heart hammering. Where's William? Does he know? Diana's ghost touched his cheek. Her fingers felt cold, yet healing. William will know, Diana said softly. But not yet. First, you must face the trials. The shadows will come for you. They already stir. As she spoke, the broken water bowl shook again. From its surface rose faint outlines, dark figures, faceless, whispering in tongues lost to history. Harry cried out, What are they? Diana's ghost pulled him close, her arms wrapping around him. Though cold, her touch filled him with a strange warmth, a safety he had missed for so long. They are the keepers of the crown's secret. They walk in silence, they erase the truth. They were there the night I died. They want you silent, Harry, but you carry the blood of kings before kingship, a lineage of light. Theirs is a lineage of shadows. As she spoke, the shadows hissed, dissolving back into the floor. The glowing water dimmed, returning to silence. The corridor looked ordinary again, empty, cold, but Harry knew everything had changed. The crown had spoken. The relic of Balkis had awakened, and his mother's spirit was no longer gone. From that night onward, Harry carried the secret. Some nights, he would wake to the sound of her whisper, guiding him. Other nights, he would see her reflection in the palace windows, warning him of dangers he could not yet understand. But one thing was clear: Diana's ghost was not only a mother grieving for her sons. She was a protector, a healer, and a keeper of the hidden truth buried within the crown itself. And as long as her spirit walked, the secrets of her death and the curse of the crown would never rest. And the stories grew. Maids reported finding fresh roses on Diana's old desk, though no one had placed them. Tourists sometimes claimed they felt a sudden chill, as if someone brushed past them. And many smelled her perfume, sharp, warm, familiar, hanging in the air like an unspoken memory. It wasn't frightening. It was sorrowful, as if the palace itself carried her unfinished story. Some believe Diana's ghost is not trapped, but searching. Searching for peace, searching for answers, searching for the sons she loved more than life itself. In one account, a palace worker said he heard quiet weeping near the nursery room. When he entered, no one was there. But he swore he saw a shadow, tall and slender, bending as though to comfort a child. That child, in his mind, could only have been Harry or William. The supernatural historians call it a residual haunting, the replay of powerful emotions that linger in a place. But others say Diana is not just a shadow replayed. She is present. A spirit who refuses to be silenced because her love was too strong and her end too cruel. One chilling detail: the Queen's staircase has long been considered haunted. Even before Diana, spirits of past royals have been seen drifting there. And now, witnesses say Diana joins them, her spirit standing in quiet defiance as if guarding the truth behind her story. But beyond the ghost tales lies something deeper. Diana was never meant to be ordinary. She broke the traditions of the crown. She touched the hands of AIDS patients when others turned away. She sat on hospital floors, hugged children, listened to the broken, and became a symbol of compassion. Perhaps that is why her spirit lingers, because compassion never dies, because love never ends. And maybe Kensington Palace, with all its history, is simply too small to contain the heart of a woman who belonged to the whole world. So the question remains: is Diana still walking the halls of Kensington Palace? Perhaps when the air turns cold, when the corridors echo with whispers, when a visitor swears they saw a woman in white at the Queen's staircase, it is her, not haunting out of anger, but watching, protecting, reminding us of her presence. The people's princess, the eternal mother, the ghost of Kensington? Some stories end with death, others begin there, and Diana's story may never truly be over.